Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to create a muffler flame burst, as you saw in the thumbnail. So in this tutorial I'm going to be using my my Chevrolet Corvette model, and you could just use the same technique, just follow the tutorial and try to recreate it on whatever model you want to use it on, and yeah, on whatever muffler you want to use it on. You can also use the tutorial to make nitros. Maybe you're animating and you want to make a nitros on your car. You can use this tutorial as well. It's pretty easy to do this in Blender, and we're going to be doing this in Blender 2.8 cycles, not Eevee. So I haven't really figured it out with Eevee yet, but once I do, I'll make a short update tutorial on it and have you guys know how it's done. But if you can do it yourself too, that would be nice, and you could share with us how you did it in the comments. Alright, let's get started. So I'm gonna take the muffler right here, and you might also have your muffler, whatever car you're using or whatever situation you're using. So let's go into edit mode right now. I'm gonna take this line right here for each of the muzzle piece, the muffler piece, and the last one right here. So we'll take all of them, and what we're going to do is we're going to press Shift and D to duplicate them like this. Right click to keep them in place, press P and click on selection to separate them as a whole different object. Take them now, select everything by pressing A after you've gone into edit mode, and press G and then Y, and let's move this very close to the very exit point of the muffler. So let me see, I don't know, G and then Y. Let's pull it out just a little bit more. Yeah, so that is good enough. So go into edit mode. We're still in edit mode, so just press F to fill the faces like that. Nice. So press Ctrl and A and apply rotation and scale like that. And now we're gonna press spacebar and type in quick. So just type in quick in your spacebar and you should see quick smoke. So just press quick smoke like that, and it adds in your domain and makes this, the object that you have here, you can see the surface just went off. It's there, the surface is there, but this time is only using it as an emitting surface, so you're not really going to be seeing the actual mesh surface. Okay, so right now it's emitting smoke, and we want to emit fire instead. Okay, so we're going to go into the physics tab right here. If you don't have it selected, it's right over here, this icon right here, or tab right here. Click on it and it should take you to the physics tab. Now in the physics tab, we want to change the flow type from smoke to fire. Alright, so after you have that on the surface, now what surface does is it is going to take the main mesh that we have right now, whatever it's emitting from, and while you increase the surface, the amount of area is going to be emitting from is going to be increasing. So the more the surface, the more the area is going to be emitting from. So while, say, maybe this is the surface, maybe if it's at 1, it's going to emit right around this mesh. Okay, but if you increase it to 1.5, it's going to extend the emission point, so it's going to increase it to about something like this, all around like that, in a diameter form. So we're going to keep it at 1 for now. And the flame rate, what flame rate actually does it is that, let me just, okay, since we've added this in, let's split the view right here. Okay, so just click right down and split the view like this. Change this to the timeline like that. Let me raise that a little bit more like this, and let me just put this to the very end here. So with that, just you can press play and you can see your flame. This is the flame right here. We have the flame nice like that. So what we want to do is, what flame rate, or was it the surface I was talking about? Yeah, so let's drop this to 0.2 and you can see what I'm talking about. So when I press play real quick, okay, it's now showing. I don't know why. Let me change this to 0.5. Let's try that again. Still not working. For some reason the 2.8 does that a lot. I don't have that problem in 2.79, but yeah, as I explained it, the more you add in the surface value, the more it's gonna emit around the mesh. So we're gonna keep this at 1. I think it was working at 1. Yeah. So we're gonna keep it at 1 for now, and let's just scale this whole thing down a little bit. Okay, these meshes. So we're gonna change the pivoting point to individual origins. Alright, And we're going to press S and scale each of them down to about here, like this. So yeah, that is good. So something small like that. Let's press it again and let's see. Alright, this is good. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take this and we're going to go into, no, we're going to take the domain. Okay, this is the domain. Let's scale it down a little bit. It's too much. So scale it down in the Z axis, press G and then Z. We're going to move this down so it's sitting right on the surface like that. So I think that domain is pretty good enough. Yeah, so select the domain, and what we're going to do is we're going to change the temperature difference. We don't want this to rise or fall, okay? We just want it to stay in one place. So we're going to drop this down to 0 like that. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so you can see it's not moving anymore. It's just at one particular point like that. That is what we wanted. Alright, with that done, let's go over to the field weights. We're going to drop gravity down also to 0 like that. So we basically don't want anything acting on the fire. We just want it to be, because we're going to be controlling the fire with a force field, okay? So we're going to use the force field to direct the fire in the direction we want it to go, and that is going to be obviously away from the muffler. Alright, so let's see if we can add in the force fields now. So let's click on this one. Let's go into edit mode, and we're going to press Shift and S and choose cursor to select it. Alright, now we're going to add in, we're going to press Shift and A, go to force field and select wind like that. So this is your wind. I'm going to press G and move it in a Y axis to about here. And I want to change the strength to about 40 like that. So I want to set the strength to 40, and let's see how this is working now. So let's press play, and you can see it's shooting it away from the muzzle, the muffler. Keep calling the muffler muzzles. Alright, so it keeps shooting it away from it's shooting it away from the muffler now. That is what we wanted to have, and now we have it. So here's what we're going to do next. Let's take this one. We're going to decrease. I don't know why. If I decrease it, okay, it's working. So I decrease the surface, alright, and yeah, that is looking good. The only reason it is flowing through the mufflers right now is because the resolution is too low. Okay, so when we increase the resolution, things are going to look great. Just scale these things down a little bit more like that. Alright, nice. So I'm going to go back again, and one more thing we need to do is to take the the flame rate. So you can increase the flame rate however you want. Okay, so as I was explaining, flame rate actually determines how much flames is going to be emitting. Okay, so if I keep displaying, you can see if I put in 2, you can see there's more flames now. You can see there's more flames. If I put this to 1, the flame reduces. So it's up to you on how much flames you want to use. In this tutorial, I'm going to go with 1, or no, I'm going to go with 2. Okay, so I'm going to keep it at 2. You can see how far it's going. Let me just move this in the y-axis a little bit more to this side. So you can see how far back it's going, like that. That is looking good. Now, while we take a look at the animation, you can see these things are actually moving in the same pattern. Okay, they don't really have any difference in them. They're basically just shooting out in the same manner. So it's sort of like they're all doing the same thing, or it's a copy of each of them. So we want to put some differences in it, and we're going to use a force field for that. So we're going to take this, I'm going to press Shift and D to duplicate it, press G and then Y. Let's just move it away from the original one a little bit, and change this from wind to turbulence, like that. Okay, so you can see instantly, you can see there's some changes going on, but obviously that is too much. So let's drop this down to about, I don't know, say 20. Yeah, 20 kind of looks good, but let me try 18. Alright, so we'll keep it at 18 like that. Yeah, 18 is looking good. So one more thing is we're going to take this and we're going to increase the resolution now, okay, so that things are looking much more nicer. So I think we're supposed to take the domain instead. I want to increase the resolutions to 120. Alright, I'm going to change mine to 120. I'm going to use 120. You can use whatever amount you want. Try not to go too high, because then things start to get slow. So I'm just going to go with 120 like that. And let me take a look at that. Yeah, so you can see it's not flowing out as much anymore. You can see it's just right here, it's contained around it over there. like that. It's not flowing out too much anymore. So here's what we're gonna do, because I think it's too, where am I? There we go. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take this one and I'm gonna increase the surface to 1. Alright, 0.5 was too small, so I'm gonna increase it to 1. So let's take another look. I know this takes a while, but it shouldn't take too much time. Not too much time. Alright, let's take a look at it. I'm just gonna pause it real quick, and yeah, so you can, I will keep mine at 1. I don't know what best suits you, so you just have to experiment and find which one. So you don't want the flame to I mean, from this point you don't want it to be shooting out of the muffler on the side, say around here. Okay, so just use whatever amount you need until you can, I mean, it feels like it's contained in a muffler, like that. So basically this is all that it is. We will just jump into texturing the fire right now, but I just want to show you guys, in case you want to use this for maybe a nitrous animation, or maybe a continuous muffler burst or something. So all you can do is to just insert your this is going to control the amount of flame you're using. Okay, so if you drop this to 0, there will be no flame. If you increase it, there will be flames. Okay, so basically you can use this as an animation. You can maybe at frame 1 you don't want it to emit anything, so you can set it to 0 and then press I to insert the keyframe on that one. Okay, like that. And then maybe you could move on to another point once you put in the 0, and then maybe 0 like this, and then you insert it. Go all the way to maybe 20, and then maybe you type in 2, and then you insert it like that. And then you go here maybe 60, and then again maybe 2 or 3, then you insert it. Whatever way you want to animate it, you can animate it like that. And then maybe you see, usually when you see these flame bursts from cars, they are these sort of like breaks in it, and you can do that by using the graph editor. I'm not going to go deep into that. You can use the graph editor and you can add in a noise modifier and use that to sort of break the flame flow in the muffler. So basically what I'm talking about, let me just show you a quick overview like this. So I'm going to get into the graph editor real quick. So this is the frame animation, this is the graph of it. So basically what you want to do, let me minimize this real quick. Come on, like that. I'm going to press N, and you can go into modifier. I haven't used this in 2.8 before, it might take me a while. Where is the modifiers? Yeah, right here. So you can add in a noise modifier like that. Okay, so when you add in the noise modifier, what you want to do is you want to increase this, the strength. Where is the strength? Yeah, so you want to increase the strength like this until some of them are crossing the 0 line. Alright, so you want some of them to be crossing the 0 line, not all of them. Most of them should be on the 0 line, so maybe something like that. And then you can space it out a little bit more, okay, to kind of give it some kind of what do you call it, time to break and release. Maybe like flow out a little bit more before breaking. You don't want it to be close together as it was before, because that would look very bad. So you can do that and then animate it, and it will look just like the way you want it to be. I don't know if that worked. So this will take a while, but you know what I mean. This tutorial is not based on that particular one, but if you want to, this is what can help you. You can use the noise modifier to do that, to break it in the flow of the flames like that. So let's get on to texturing the flame now. I'm going to delete the keyframes real quick. So delete keyframes like that. Alright, so I'm going to texture the fire. First off, yeah, let's texture the fire first. So let's just press play so we have a bit of the flame out. Why isn't it showing? Oh, okay, it's on 0. It's on 0, so let me set it back to 2. Let's play this. Alright, so I just want a bit of it out. Like that. I think it's good enough. Now I'm going to take this, the domain, and we're going to use that to set the flame for this. I mean the flame color, the texture. So we're going to go over to, let's split the screen like this. And let's go into shader editor like this. So you will have this by default for the domain. So what you want to do now, we want to add in an add modifier. So go into shader, what do you call it? Add shader, not add modifier. Add shader right here, and put that down here, and we're gonna add in an emission shader also through to this side like this, and we're going to add in a color ramp. Is it a color ramp? Yeah, it's under, yeah, converter, color ramp, yeah, color ramp. So add in a color ramp, and then we're gonna add in, finally we're gonna add in input attribute like this. Okay, now under the name over here, as you're seeing here, just type in flame. Okay, all small letters, type in flame like that, and drag the factor into the color ramp like that. And we're gonna control the brightness of the flame with a math node. So go over to converter and add in a math node right here, and put the factor into the one above it like that, and set this into the strength right here. So this will control the strength for us. Let's set this up to about 10. That was what I used for the thumbnail on this video. So right here we're gonna add in a new marker right here like this. I want to change this to a red. Oh no, let's make it, I'm not sure, let's see, let's make it a red one. Yeah, so let's make it red or orangey, sort of orange like that, and add in another one. Pull it, let me pull it, keep selecting the wrong one. So pull it all the way to the other side, and I want to set this to, I don't know, less dark of an orange, and take this one. This is going to be the inner area, okay, the very inner area of the flame, okay, the part that is exiting from the muffler like that. So we're going to set that to blue, is what I've seen in most cases. So we're going to set it to blue. Now let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at what this looks like right now. We're not going to render it out. We're not going to render it out. We're going to click on this tab right here to sort of give us an overview of what we have. So just click on there, and it'll give you sort of a quick render of what you have like that. So everything basically looks too orange, okay. In most cases flames have a little bit of blue in them. So I'm going to add in one more marker, and I'm going to move it. Okay, yeah, let's just move this one over here. So you can see we have a little bit of blue in there. Let's see if we can change this. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit red, or maybe more red like that. I want to take this one, let me move it here a little bit. I'm going to make that one blue, maybe much blue like that. Let me increase or drop this down a little bit more like that. Yeah, so that is looking good. That is the color I was looking to go for. So now that we have the color ready and we know it's what we want, we can now bake the smoke, the fire. So let's go into the physics tab again. Make sure the domain is the one selected. We're going to increase the resolution before we bake this, okay? So let's go to high resolution, enable that, and increase it to 2. Again, you don't want to go high because that might make things slow for you. Just keep it at 2 or maybe 3 if you want. And yeah, keep the resolution also at 120. Once you have all that, just change the end animation. Mine is at 100, so I'm going to change it to 100. It depends on how much animation frames you have, so I'm just going to go with 100. I'm going to put 100 in, and with all that set up, I'm going to click on bake like this. Bake all dynamics, not just bake all dynamics. So because you want to have the wind controlling the fire and everything, so bake all dynamics, not bake. So bake all dynamics, and it starts to bake that for you. So I'll see you guys at the end of the video when it finishes baking this. Alright, so we just finished baking, and this is what we have, right? I quickly set up the camera for the shot that I needed, and this was actually the shot for the thumbnail you were seeing on this video. So just set up your camera, set up your scene the way you want it, and you have your fire already baked. So whichever frame you select is going to give you the baked flame compared, I mean in compared, I mean in yeah, it would just give you the baked flame. Why do I keep saying frame? The baked flame for it, like that. So just as that, just set up your scene the way you want it, add in the camera. I've already added mine like this, and then just render your image out. That's basically all that it is. And yeah, it's pretty easy. And if I find out a way to do it in in Eevee, I'll just make a short update video. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be too long. Just a short update video to tell you guys how it can be done. But if you already know it, you can put it in the comments for people to, you know, find out. Or I could basically just make a tutorial out of it if it works. So I'll see you guys in the next video.